Nick, you have now been here for 6 years. You are one of the veteran voices in the locker room. What kind of energy are you feeling from this group? You're getting ready to kick off this weekend. What's the feeling inside there?
The number one word is cohesion. The second word is synergy. I would say our training camp was as tough as they've been. And when you go through times like that, it just makes everybody so bought in. We've been through those times and we got better together. And I think we understand the talent that we have as a team. And that goes from special teams to offense to defense. And I think we're just excited to show the world what we're capable of.
Do you have a different feeling about this year?
I've always had the same feeling every single year, so it's tough to say. Same goals, still the same goals.
And what are those goals?
I'll say it's to go 1-0 every single week.
That's one way to do it. So we want to dive a little bit deeper into who you are as a person and your story, just in general. I want to applaud you first, the 2024 Wuerffel Trophy winner. Congratulations on that. And I was just doing so much research on your Dawkins Family Foundation. It's really the whole purpose is just combating wasted potential when it comes down to it. How did that mission come to life, and what's been the most rewarding moment so far through that?
You know what? I would say it was how I was raised with my mom and my dad. My dad, after he was done playing in the NBA, obviously was able to give back to so many different communities, travel across the world, legitimately working with underserved youth. And he was able to bring me along for a couple of those trips, and I was able to see how he impacted people. And then in high school, I had a lot of friends, a lot of people from my area who probably should be in the same situation as myself, or probably even better, but they didn't have access to resources that could take them to that next level. And that hurt my heart to see that. And now that I'm given a platform that I'm able to help people out, I figured I would utilize it fully. And I think that when you're most impactful when you're in the youth, especially as a younger athlete, there's so many inspirations, so many role models that were in similar shoes in you. So that's kind of how it all started off. And then on the precipice of NIL being allowed to work with different companies and businesses and, just different foundations to really excel at mission, it came full circle. And as for maybe one of the most beneficial or like, I guess, full circle moments or something, I would say, honestly, right before this call, we were able to pick our first, our scholarship winner for the Daryl Dawkins Foundation with my mom, my sister, and myself reading through essays. We had 1,000 essays this year. So just so many applicants, and we have two other scholarships, of course, but it was cool just to be like, wow, like we're going to help these people out. And it's been something we've been wanting to do forever, and just taking care of that.
It is incredible what you're doing, and we're just lucky to share your story with the world for those who are unaware of just the amazing ways that you're giving back. And like you said, a lot of this stems from your parents and your father, Daryl Dawkins. He was such a larger than life figure. What's one lesson from him that you carry with you every day?
Thank you so much for those words. Before I answer that, thank you so much. I would say for my dad, it was just don't take life so seriously. Um, I think so often, more often than not, really. You probably could say the same for yourself. There's so many expectations that are placed on you, especially when you're in front of a camera, especially when you're talking to groups of people, especially when you just have people following what you're doing. And when you have those expectations, you tend to put even tougher and rougher expectations on yourself. And my dad obviously was the first player drafted out of high school to the NBA. He was compared to Wilt Chamberlain, who was one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And to that, he said, why? Why? At first, it was, why me? Why am I getting these expectations? I'm not Wilt Chamberlain, this, that, and the third. But once he was done playing, he was the happiest he ever was because it was just him. He could do exactly as he wanted to do. And he didn't take it too seriously because it was just a game to him. Basketball was just a game. It was supposed to be fun, and that's all it was. And he coached and he had fun and tried to instill fun. And for myself, it's things are going to happen. Tough times occur, expectation, pressure, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, I'm Nick Dawkins, not Mr. Football Player. So I live my life as Nick Dawkins, not as somebody else or the pressures that somebody wants me to be.
Oh, you're giving me chills right now. I hope I'm raising my daughters in the same way that your parents raised you. Just incredible there. And it goes to show, Coach Franklin, I saw him come out and joked that you might end up being governor of Pennsylvania at some point. Just what's it like hearing something like that from your head coach? How have you seen your leadership role grow beyond football in the position that you're in right now?
It's awesome to have obviously that you commit to Coach Franklin because you believe in his mission and who he is. So to have him share that same sentiment for you is it's full circle because you feel like you've been matured and done things the right way. It's funny to hear that. I've kind of heard that since I was younger that I was like a mayor or like a figure like that. But no, none of that for me. No, none of that. I can't talk about the external pressures and then try to become the governor of Pennsylvania. But it's funny to hear that. But to be honest, like as I was growing up, like my parents raised me that if you see something that doesn't align with what you're a part of, whether it be a program, whether it be an organization or the family, the standard, call it out, call it out. And if you see something that's not being done the right way, do it the right way. So I feel like I guess the confidence that comes from consistently upholding a standard has allowed me to naturally go into some leadership roles. And I would honestly say that I believe in myself as that leader too, because I think that's my calling is to lead people, I would say. And sometimes in order to be, but I'm a servant leader too, I would say. In order sometimes to lead, you got to be a follower. And that's what my first couple of years at Penn State were.
And now back-to-back captain. I mean, you're doing something right. You have a veteran offensive line. To turn this a little bit more to football into this game, you look at this team and you have been with Drew Allar since his arrival. How have you seen him grow both as a quarterback and a leader of this team?
So much. Drew has matured so much. I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year because his intentionality into game plan, into film, into leadership, and really all the fruits of his labor have come to fruition. He's had a great spring ball, great offseason, a great camp. Even his body's changed significantly, like how his nutrition, and he's just operating like a full-fledged pro. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do because he's just grown immensely, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and like just all around. He's the full package.
Where have you seen growth within yourself on the field from last year through this offseason to this year? What can we expect to see from Nick Dawkins?
I would say just full confidence. I think when I first started last year for my first couple starts, I was almost playing out of anxiety or playing out of fear. I was playing out of fear of being average. Whereas opposed to now, I would chart it up to maybe some readings that I've done, the power of the subconscious mind, the law of attraction. And I have the utmost confidence in myself to get done my job every single play. So when you have confidence into what you're doing, I think it then goes to instead of just trying to do your job, it's trying to excel at doing your job, which is where I'm at now.
Nick, thank you so much for joining us here. We are so excited to be covering you week one of this football season, and we're wishing you nothing but continued success.
I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you so much.